Oh man, made it. A little bit late, guys, but still running a little bit of lag here from this weekend's time down in Southern California. Man, it was we were down in the tropics down there. Unbelievable to get down there and Truckin For Kids weekend and have things go the way they did, which they went great. So don't think anything bad. We did good. The weather was just incredible. I got in Friday night and stepped out of my car. I felt like I was somewhere in the tropics. It was raining, must have been about 85, 90, and humid as heck. It was unbelievable. But start of a good weekend. We rolled with the interesting conditions of the weather and turned it into quite a show. And so much going on that we are going to get into and talk about. So far, we got Miss Stephanie Haas, the diesel addict herself, in the studio. Hi, Stephanie. Sorry we didn't get a chance to say goodbye in person Monday, but it just was one of those deals. We had our little get together in the morning breakfast with Team 10-4 and all the TFK people, all of our volunteers and key folks at the show that work with us, and it was a nice breakfast at Roadhouse. I guess Dan knows the name of it. Joe's Roadhouse. I don't know, Dan, is that right? No? Yeah. Nope. Shaking his head no. He'll tell you in a minute. He'll get it out. But Brittany Hamstreak back in the studio. Yeah, the drags were exciting this year. Today's show, I want to first take a second to shout out to our sponsors for the live streams this weekend that made it possible for me to be out there and do what I do and get the drags out to you guys, some show and shine out to you guys. Jake's Roadhouse. Thank you, Shannon. That's I knew it started with J. I knew it did. But Jake's Roadhouse, excellent in Monrovia, California, and I guess the old historic area of Monrovia, and it really is a nice place. Fantastic food. But our sponsors this weekend, National Association of Show Trucks, Diesel Exhaust and Emissions, and Max Mileage. These guys that are down here in the bottom of your screen right now. The NAST guys right here, these guys are putting on a show this weekend, and I'll get to that probably on the second half of the show, and you guys can find out all the information. But if you want to find out and you just can't stand it, you got to know, go to our Facebook page and check out the events tab. On there, you will see all the information of Ignace in Michigan, and then, of course, the other show that they have coming up in October, and that is Dragging and Pulling in the Pines, and that's in Texas. Also, of course, Diesel Exhaust and Emissions. Jeremy, great longtime sponsor of 10-4 magazine, and of course, Truckin For Kids. And he had a hydrogen truck out there. I would have loved to have seen that truck on the track, but wasn't to be. And of course, Max Mileage, PittsburghPower.com. Max Mileage, a fuel catalyst you can add to just about anything out there. If it burns fuel, you can add that to it, and it'll make it run better. Tim Sieben, what's up, Siebes? Good to have you on the show. Pete Anderson, always nice to have you, buddy. And didn't even get to say hi to Shannon, but hi, Shannon. Thanks for tuning in, of course. Well, this weekend's show, and here's the official program, 41 years of fun, Truckin For Kids. If you didn't get to make it down this weekend, you missed it. It was really fantastic. It was a great show. Lots of people, lots of drag trucks, man. Lots of guys racing. And even when the races were officially over, the guys were all back out on the track and they were running. Burnout contest was phenomenal. Mark Pounds literally just smoked out the track and everybody in the grandstands with that cab over his. And in fact, you've probably seen that thing. It's all over the place, and our photos in different places. But Mark did a great job, as well as everybody else. And one of the guys that was on the show or at the show and running, Mario Monette, is on our show today, and we're going to talk about how things went for him. Mario got the longest pull, shortest ride, and I'll explain that a little later when we get Mario in here. But definitely the longest pull. He came all the way in from Canada and brought a lot of great spirit with him and made a lot of friends. So it was great to see him. You guys know it's National Truck Driver Appreciation Week, and this just in, Peterbilt wants to give you a brand new 389X because you're such a cool driver, and maybe not give you, but you're going to have to buy it. And here's something that's cool about this truck. I just was reading this, and right here, this dash shot. number one. So I'm assuming that must be their model they've already made, and it's the one that they're showing you driving around in, if that's in fact even real. But I'd like to be number 1,389 because that's how many of them they're going to make. 1,389. So they're taking it back to the classic a little bit. You guys can see here. There's a pretty good picture of it in here, showing it at night. So they're taking all the stuff that you guys do after you get your trucks and put all the underglow lights and everywhere and up in the breathers and making it look sweet. But it's available day cab and two sleeper models. So guys that are out there running transfers, I know who you are. You get yours, get it ordered now. I'm sure these are going to go fast, and maybe they're already spoken for. I have no idea, but I don't know what you guys think. Is it something is this something you're looking forward to? I mean, the 379X, when it came out, that was like a big aha, oh wow, big deal moment. And now the 389X is coming out, and just in time for them to at some point stop making them. So get yours while you can, and have your piece of history, because whatever it's going to be after this, I think that this old style of conventional is days are numbered. So it's unfortunate, but that's the way it is. So let's break out of here, and let's get some other stuff taken care of here as well while we're getting this ready. And I'm going to bring Mr. Dan Linss, co-founder, owner of 10-4 Magazine, on into the show. What's up, Dan?
Hey, talking about that 389X, my rumors are telling me that's it.
That's it. Yeah. So I didn't want
I don't know if that's true.
I didn't want to drop a hammer, but I heard 24 is it, but this might be it. And yeah, it's like we never know, right? We wait and we find out with everybody else and what the heck's going on. And better get yours while you can. Again, like I said, and then what's going to end up happening after that, I have no idea. I think at that point, that's just it. Michael Wilkinson in on the show. What's up there, buddy? JC Alt, good evening to you. Miss April Sieben, of course, the better half of the Siebens up there, Mr. Tim and April Siebens. I'll tell you, it's going to be interesting to see where things go on a lot of these trucks and Kenworth W900 series, 389s, conventionals, period. But we'll wait and see. We're not in the know yet. I just got the press release from them, and that was it. And that's about as much as they're telling me. So let's talk about Truckin For Kids, man. We had such a buildup for months and then for weeks, and then it became like hyper focus, hyper buildup for like a 2 week long period of Truckin For Kids. And I'll tell you, man, we really put it out there, and I've already said how I felt about it. What do you think, Dan? How did Truckin For Kids turn out under the first year of leadership of 10-4 Magazine or 10-4 Charities?
I think it went fantastic. Obviously, there's places where we can grow and improve. We absolutely recognize that, and that's okay. If we had a perfect event right out of the gate, where would we go? So,
right?
We got to have some place to go. We got to have bigger and better things to get to. So I'm absolutely okay with that.
And mom and dad were there to help us if we needed it, right?
That's right. Frank and Diana, the previous show producers for about 35 years, came down as our ambassadors, and they've never been able to enjoy the show. So we didn't really want them to come down and help. We just wanted them to come down and experience the show from a spectator's perspective, which they had never really done. So, and even some of our volunteers, Greg Algori and some other people, they've been so overwhelmed over the years, they haven't had a chance to say, enjoy the drags. And so we cut Greg loose about one, and he went out into the stands with his son, I believe, and they got to watch the drags for the first time. And I don't know, 20 years he's been, maybe more, that he's been volunteering for this. So I'm glad that they got to do that and have some fun too. So it was great. I mean, I got a lot of sun, that's for sure. But I think my forehead and a little bit in there, and my thin blonde hair probably be peeling pretty soon. So,
interesting point. What you were just saying, how it was an opportunity for the past regime to kind of have a chance to experience the show. I think it did a flip flop on us because I didn't get to. I mean, while I'm there working it, it's a different experience. And I told this to Mario earlier. I was really bummed out that I didn't get more time to spend more time with more people. But that's
Yeah.
just, that's how it goes, right?
Absolutely. I had the exact same experience. I had high hopes of cruising around, taking a few pictures, talking to all the vendors individually, even talking to all the drivers and shaking their hands and thanking them for coming. And what a pipe dream that was.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was taking somebody to their car at 3:30 in the golf cart, and they wanted to go down a row and see some trucks before they left. And I went down the row and I realized I had not been down that row. It was 3:30 on Sunday. So there was a lot that, it's just crazy. I mean, it doesn't matter how prepared you are, how organized you are. I mentioned this to somebody else, Brandon at Stay Loaded Fuel Marketing, and he helps with a lot of shows and events. And he said, all my friends say that, yeah, we'll hang out at the show, we'll talk. And he's like, yeah, that'll never happen. That'll never
No,
happen. So
no, it
what are
and
you
it
gonna do?
didn't. I mean, your usual spot where you usually are hanging out was manned and taken care of by a whole other team, and you were Dan the man. I mean, anybody named Dan, uh, you were the man, buddy.
Well, I will say this is the first time I've been to Truckin For Kids in 27 years. My camera did not come out of the car.
Yeah,
I did not take one picture, which I really thought I could. Thankfully, I had other people there to fill
yes,
those, positions, so I knew I didn't have to. But I really thought, oh, I'll get a chance to do that, and yeah, no, not at all. I did not work in the 10-4 booth. I rolled 2 posters all day. That was it.
that's
uh,
okay though, man. Listen, you were where you were needed to be, and getting done things that you needed to get done, and that was pretty much directing anything and everything at hand. If there was a question, I think you and Tim were pretty much the go-to guys, and I think that most of us sort of picked up a sense and a flow of, if we need to get this stuff done, we don't probably need to ask about it anymore. Let's just get it done, and I think that kind of started making its way through the ranks, and I think it was a good deal. I saw good things going on. I didn't hear anybody have anything negative to say. I mean, and I'm sure they would, right? I mean, you guys, if you had anything to say before you said it on social media, you'd come and say it to my face, wouldn't you? I would
yeah,
think.
right.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll tell you one thing that's funny, and that's after reading that 389 post from Peterbilt Motors was, all the guys chiming in about this and that, the negatives that come in, and
Mhm.
it reminded me of some comments and things that we dealt with early on in our, beginning stages and throughout some of the latter stages of putting on Truckin For Kids. And I know how they feel over there at Peterbilt, and certainly feeling, those kinds of questions. Those guys, they've been doing it for years, and I mean, we had a taste of it for when we had it, this recent thing, but it all turned out good. It all worked out. We knew it would.
Just remember when the 379 replaced the 359, they they were upset about that. When the
Oh yeah.
389 took over the 379, they were upset about that. So
Oh,
whatever takes
yep.
over the 389, they're going to be upset about that too. And eventually, they'll accept it. They'll make it cool. It'll fit into their whatever deal, and it'll be all right.
It will be, we'll all be okay. Listen, I was in that transfer of, 379 to 389 era, and honestly, the 379 when they started making changes to it on the interior, and we were all in an uproar, and truckers just don't like change, man. That's just, I don't know what it is. It's like you get used to that one seat, that one truck, one stick or two, whatever it is.
One day.
Yeah, that's it. Don't mess with me. Leave me alone. I'm good, but hey, it is what it is. Bubba and Crystal Branch, Bubba, what's going on, man? We would have loved to seen you out in California maybe next year, man. I'd love to see the guys that can make that swing come out here. And if they've got Texas coming up the following weekend, make Trucking for Kids that stopover and that fun weekend before you go back into Texas into that awful heat that you might be enduring there. Maybe I don't know if it's going to be that way or not, but it is that time of the year. So, but come on and join us, man. We'd love to have all you guys out here. Gary Jones made an appearance. It was good to see him and Devery and of course everybody else out there as well. Mickey Gwillem joining us. Rick Nay, what's going on, man? So
Hey, Mickey, Rick,
Dan, you
Bubba.
probably got a bunch of different things in there, notes and things. Why don't you give us some feedback on what else you got there to talk about?
Well, really, back to the show. I mean, first and foremost, I mean, thank you to everyone who came, all the truck drivers that came out and supported us and were part of the show. Not a record turnout by any means. We had 150 trucks, but that's okay. Like I said, that should
That's
help us.
respectable.
That should help us get our entire weekend event next year, because we have some room to grow and some more money to make. So that's always a good thing. But you know what, I really wanted to, thank all the volunteers, all of our helpers, some of the people that have been involved with Truckin For Kids for years that came on board with us. Um, all of the new helpers. I had lots of family and friends come out, and everybody stepped up. Like John, like you said, when something just needed to be done, you could ask somebody and you may get an answer you need, but you were just taking two people to make that decision. So a lot of people just started making decisions and getting stuff done, and that actually really helped things go smooth. So I just wanted to thank, first and foremost, my partner in crime in this, Tim Sieben. The two of us, we work together pretty well as a team. And obviously we both had our better halves in life. My wife, Shannon, and his wife, April. And of course, even our matriarch, Miss Jean, she showed up and helped in the 10-4 booth and helped count votes. And so it was nice to see her get out. She doesn't get to too many shows these days, so it was nice to see her get out there. And since she's the reason we ended up acquiring the show, because it was her idea, and then she retired. Thanks, Jean. It was nice that she came out and actually helped us. So yeah, that was
Yes, she did. Yeah.
kind of good. So maybe it was payback, because it was probably a lot of work for her. But just everybody. Thanks Shriners, Aaron and Amanda from Shriners. They came out and ran their booth and had just nothing but really great things to say. And so in a couple of weeks here, we'll have a number for them and present them with a big check. I'm really excited about what we're going to get there. Donations are still coming in. Now, John, I emailed you before the show a QR code.
I've got it posted up over on the Truckin For Kids Facebook page, and I'm going to bring it up here right now as we speak.
So if anybody wasn't able to come or came and felt like they wanted to do a little bit more, you can scan that QR code and it goes to the Truckin For Kids page on the Shriners Children's website.
You guys can scan that literally right there on the screen, and it'll take you where you need to go. So
you can make a donation directly to Shriners, but it will be on our behalf. So kind of goes into our till as money we've raised. So that would be really awesome. Help us reach our goal. And just everybody who donated auction items, we made a really good number on our auction. Things were going a little slow for a while and people were going to get some really good deals, but I guess that's how silent auctions go. The last 15 minutes, everything goes whoop, and they did. So people still got good deals, don't get me wrong, but we made some really great money on that. And our bonus buckets were a big hit. We handed out about over 100 of those. People really were appreciative of what was in that. There was a lot of good stuff in that. And incidentally, in our shirts, our Truckin For Kids shirts here, we got a few of those left. And I wanted to let you know, you could go on the Stay Loaded website, stayloaded.com, I believe, stay-loaded.com, I believe is their website. And they're going to be selling those shirts. They've got a few hundred that they ordered special just to sell. And they're going to be doing that for the next 30 days. Hopefully they're up already now that we're talking about it. And they're going to be selling them for probably in special promos or shows. They're going to be selling them for $10, and Truckin For Kids is going to get all the money at the end of the 30-day period. So,
man, well, those are probably gone now that you said that.
We'll also have a few probably that we'll be selling at the California Trucking Show in Ontario later in October as being our. Well, actually, it's not the final show. We'll be at the Bobtail Apparel Show as well the weekend after that. But so there'll be a few opportunities if you didn't get one of those. They're really cool shirts made by Stay Loaded. I think the coolest one I've ever seen at Truckin For Kids. And so, you can still participate. You can still buy a shirt and help the cause. So just thanks to Stay Loaded for doing that. They've been good business partners, as always, for years. Made a great shirt, made our staff shirts. So appreciate everything they've done. And a couple other real quick. I know you don't want to be, this is like a award ceremony, thank you. But I'm almost done.
We got Mario in the wings waiting with his wife.
I know Mario wants to get to his roast beef, so let's hurry up. So the Magini family, especially Roger and Annette, for obviously hauling our trailer everywhere with that Godfather show truck. can't thank them enough. They've become more than just helpers. I mean, become part of the family, and it's really amazing. They're going to be towing that truck and trailer out to the Bobtail show there in Dixon at the end of October. So I think we'll all be out there with that, doing some post TFK fun. So,
Yep.
and
I'll be there too.
lastly, I would like to, really give some big kudos and shouts to our friend Mike Haran and Carl Karstens. Of course, Carl Karstens is Rockwood, and Mike Haran. You might know him from working with Roadworks for a lot of years, with Lincoln Chrome for a few years. Now he's working with Dustin Dickerson. Yep. So
Just
he's also got some of his own irons in
Yep.
the oven that he's
Yep.
possibly going to be coming out with soon. So the two of them collaborated to make these to make our trophies, which were really unique and kind of different, and nothing too crazy or garish. We didn't want to go nuts with that, but both of them completely donated everything for those. So, I mean, that really saved us a lot of money, and that was amazing that they did that. So big thanks to them. Wish they could have been at the show to see the trophies. Oh, and Ron Beer for delivering them. Our buddy Ron Beer, everybody knows Ron. Those that pallet rode in style from Santa Fe Springs to the show, and then of course it rode from his truck to our booth on his chrome and orange pallet jack with pinstriping. I mean, Ron's got the coolest of everything. So
And not only that, man, even getting up into the inside of that trailer, we're climbing up a chromed ladder, man. I mean,
chrome and orange to Matt. Yep. This guy's got it on. So thanks for all that stuff, and to anybody else who helped, participated in any way. I mean, not all of it was appreciated. None of it was not noticed, and we couldn't have done it without everybody's help. So obviously bigger and better things on the horizon. We're already talking about how we can make next year better. And so we're really excited. So we hope everybody comes with us on that journey too.
And put everybody's mind at ease. No matter what or where, we're going 2 days.
If it's got to be in my house, it's going to be 2 days.
2 days. Dan's
Whatever.
out. We just get out and roll tires up and down the road or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Hey, I want to take a second and say hey to Wayne Talkington, man. Great to have you on the show. Thanks for joining us, Wayne.
Hey,
and
Wayne, nice
Mr. Net Magini Gadelli. There's a bunch there. Hey, Annette. Glad to have you on here too. She got to hear your props, man. So
good.
Is that it, or are we going to bring in Mr. Mario?
I mean, I could give you a nice little segue about all the great racers that came to the show and how far they traveled from Texas and Canada and what a phenomenal bunch of super drag trucks we had. And there's this one guy, Mario. He made a very big impression on the crowd. I mean, bring him in if you've got him.
Boy, did he.
Hey, Mario.
Hi.
How are you, buddy?
I'm good. I'm tired, though. I want to go relax at home. I arrived this morning from California, so.
Yeah, well, you had a long pull, buddy, and it was much appreciated. I mean, you had a fun time getting out here. You did a lot of racing along the way and met a lot of people, made a lot of friends. But I got to tell you, meeting you for the first time and getting to see who and what you're all about, man. In this industry, there's these good guys, and we run across them every now and then. And you are one of the good guys, and we are lucky to have you as part of Truckin For Kids and frankly 10-4 magazine. I think you're part of the gang now, buddy. I mean, what went on in that pit and the culture you guys have created there, and it was just nothing but a love for each other, the sport, and helping each other out, and I think all the way as it should be. So congratulations on so much success down there.
And for winning our longest tow award, coming all the way from Alberta, Canada. So he didn't go home trophyless.
Nope.
Yeah, I like that one.
Well, and the guys, Carl and Mike, I think they knocked it out of the park on those trophies. I really do. They just felt like Truckin For Kids, and it just had a vibe about them. They did a great job. So congratulations on that. Well, not to take anything away from so much success, of course, and fun and everything that was had, but it wasn't without an event and some excitement there for a moment. And before we talk about it, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to play it for everybody. Incidentally, we'll be able to hear the live video feed and we can talk over this at the same time. So Mario, if you have any comments about what's going on in here during this, and I welcome them because I had a feeling I knew what was going on inside that cab while this was happening, and after speaking to you, we agreed that's what it was. But definitely fill everybody else in. So here we go. This is Mario's first run of the day on the track against, of all people, of course, Oscar and Velasquez brothers truck over there, which probably one of the fastest trucks.
Here in the right lane, 4,000 horsepower. They call it the beast. They call it the beast for a reason. That thing looks like sinister. I'm telling you right now, that is all business. And look who he's coming up next to. Elmont Son over the left lane.
He did a great job all week.
Oscar Velasquez over the left lane. Elmont Son.
And he's off. Man, it looked like you were ready to go, buddy. You were ready to go down the end of the track at that point, huh?
Yeah, but as you know, Wayne Talkington is so amazing to teach other people how to race. So he told me, do your burnout as usual and don't change your habits. So I did as usual. Nice burnout, and when I backed up, I was so ready.
Yep.
You don't go halfway down the track, it ain't a real burnout anyway, right?
Yeah.
We should thank Ron Versteeg for this video.
Yeah, Ron, thanks for sending that over. I appreciate that. Absolutely. Ron really made a lot of great things happen this weekend. This is just one of them. Well, here we go.
And here at the light, Wayne told me how to launch it, and I was ready. That's why you will see it pretty good. But so yeah, now what I was doing there is I shut up the engine, and I saw the fire kept going on. So I'm like, oh, it's not an oil line, so it's fuel. So I shut up the fuel, pull up the brakes, shut up everything, and I'm looking out and get out. I was slow because I knew I was protected by firewall, fire suit, everything.
And let everybody know too, Mario. I mean, the inside of the cab there, you were in a safe and confined area, correct?
Yes. But I would say now, on my way back here, I already ordered the suppression fire system. So for next season, that's what I'll have under the engine bay for sure.
Well, I think that's that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's a good thing to have on there.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad you made it out okay, because that was a scary 5 or 6 seconds.
Yeah.
I think we get the idea. So yeah, I would have loved to seen you go down the track, but next year we're going to make it happen, right?
Oh yes, I'm already working on it. So
good deal. And
what happened is just a fuel line that blew up. So it's sad, but
bad line, too much pressure. What do you think?
No, the truck has 7 seasons. I change the fuel lines almost every year. It's just that you have to remember that I left a month ago. I went down to Ontario, Smooth Rock Falls, so I raced there. I went to Onaway. I raced there too. I did, I think, over 10 passes on the weekend. And I was easy on the truck because I wanted to get everything for Truckin For Kids, and I brought it there. And I think it was just like, a lot of things. And my team is not with me. I work with 6-7 guys usually, and I was on my own, so it was a lot on the plate. So
yes, sir. Well, you got a lot of moving parts to make happen what you do have happen, and we so appreciate you coming out and being a part of Truckin For Kids. As I said, Mario, we really look forward to next year and anything between now and then. Going on. We see you along the way. We hope you you come and hang with us, and vice versa. Are plans to go to Matt's and anything like that coming up? Are you going to be going to Mid America Truck Show this year?
I don't know yet. I'll see what Fast or Precision or whoever. Usually in January, everyone calls and we set up all the shows. But
Right.
I would love going back. The truck will change again, but
Yes,
going back.
yes. Well, and that's where we met.
Thanks for bringing your buddy Spectrum on board with 10-4 Magazine and to Truckin For Kids as vendors. That was great to have a new vendor there, someone different we never met, and it all worked out really well.
I think it did. It just seemed like there was a camaraderie between the polishers too. I saw a picture with everybody except Kevin in it, Kevin Drinkwater, the owner of Spectrum Polishes, and I think he was the one taking the picture. So I think that's why he wasn't in it, but I heard him talking in the background. So they did a picture and some video. Anyway, I'd love to see, and I'm going to throw this out there. I want to see a Polishers Challenge next year. I think we have a room for that, and it could be something that could happen, man. This, bring the oldest, acid washed out wreck of a truck in there, and let's see what you can all do with it. I would love to see that.
Make them work on their weekend, right?
Well,
for nothing, for a trophy.
You should see you should see what Spectrum do. It's amazing. My truck, the white Kenworth, it's a 1.5 million miles truck that hauled Super Bs. I don't know if you know what are Super Bs, concrete here in Canada with moose bumper for years. I brought it there and look how it came out. So
yeah, the concrete's one of the harshest environments to run trucks in too, with everything going on. So yes. By the way, I didn't get a chance to say hello to my other half, Miss Julia, in the studio today from San Francisco. So thanks for tuning in, hon. Dan said, "Yep, there you go. You got it. There it is." You know what? We're going to debrief at some point. We'll put all these ideas down on paper and see what flies and where we're going to be at and how it's all going to come together for 2023. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. And then we'll have to wind it all back up and make it happen again. And hopefully it'll be as good or better than it was this year. So thanks again, Mario.
Go enjoy that pot roast. And thanks again for coming. We really appreciate it. We hope to see you next year.
Oh, you will see me next year because
awesome.
I would do anything for kids anyway. So
I agree with John 100%. You're one of the good guys, and it was like you said, the camaraderie with you guys over in the pits. Your attitude after you blew up on the first run. I mean, you know what? You're just a gem of a guy. It's been really nice getting to know you.
Thank you so much. I'm flattered. Thanks.
Stay close, Mario. Stay close. We'll be in touch. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, Dan. What? You know what? 10-4 has a way of attracting some quality people, and I think it comes from within 10-4 itself too. So glad that we were able to attract Mario and have him be a part of our first run at Truckin For Kids. So what's coming up for 10-4? Just to shout it out real quick. You were mentioning Bobtail Apparel's show. That's coming up.
Yep. Looks like Roger and Annette committed to if they'll have us dragging out the trailer, the TFK trailer. So really isn't a lot to promote there, except for maybe, like I said, post promote. Thank people for coming, but they'll bring the 10-4 booth and the TFK booth, and we'll set them up. We weren't really planning to have a booth there, but if they're going to bring the stuff, well, then we might as well. So we'll go full force.
Yep. Absolutely. That sounds good. And that's, I'll go into that more here at the second half of the show and give you guys some more update instructions on shows and how to find out all the information. Facebook's a really great way to do that. And it's a super good tool for doing that. Also, we found out this time around, first time we were able to do it. If you go back onto our Facebook page and you look at the coverage that we provided for the drags, that's only going to get better too, knowing now that we can actually live stream from inside the race house there at the start line of Irwindale's drag strip. So next year
there's another shout out to give too. I mean, not just to you, John, for what you were doing out there, but announcer Dave, the voice of Irwindale. So the drags to my knowledge, I don't think they've ever really had a true MC. They've had people who maybe announce a little bit here and there, but not a true MC, and this guy was great. I mean, he was reading our sponsor vendor names and filling in the gaps when they were dealing with Mario's debacle out there. You know,
Yep.
he filled for a good half hour, and boy, everybody got some props. So, you know,
Yep.
he was announcing the four state trucks left lane and the Patella trucks right lane a lot, and you know, thanks to those guys for sponsoring the lanes. I don't know, did Battello get that lane? I don't know which one Oscar was in when he won, but he was hoping that it'd be in his lane. But I think he was doing the left lane. I think that was four state. But anyway, so yeah, it was cool. I mean, he did a great job. He really made, you know, obviously we're going to do a lot more work on the drags. That was all really new to us, and quite honestly, about 20 minutes before they started, the track said, "Okay, what are we doing? Put it together." And I thought you said you were doing it.
I thought
No,
you were
that's
doing that. Wait a
on,
minute.
yeah, it's kind of on you. So there
Yeah.
was a little bit of last minute confusion on that. I think everybody had a good time and the drags were cool. They will be more organized and better and bigger next year for sure. I mean, we're gonna have so much more time to get ready for this thing, and so yeah, we're excited to get on it early.
We've had some people already reaching out, including Mario and all the guys who want to reach out and offer as much help and their experience and years of doing drags to make it an even better program. You know, my vision. I hope we get to do 2 days of racing too, not just 2 days of Truckin For Kids, but 2 days of racing and have actual day of qualifying and a day of eliminations, and turn it into brackets and do it up just like the big boys do. And speaking of big boys, who's the big star NHRA two-time world champion that you met this weekend?
Not Tony Pedregon.
It better not say Tony Pedregon.
That'd be Cruz. That will be true. Yeah, you know, it's pretty special when you get a text and you look down and it starts out, "Hey, my name's Cruz Pedregon. I don't know if you know me, but yeah, I know you." And so yeah, he wanted to. Has a long time history with trucking. His family owned trucks when he was growing up, and I think he grew up in the Inland Empire around Fontana, Ontario area, and he had some funny stories. But he's a long-time truck racer. He said from the '80s. He says, "I want to come by and check it out." He was at the Raider Chargers game in LA. Yeah. I think he left early to be out there. I told him you better not wait too long because the races will end if you get there too late. So I think he came just in time to see the final few go, and did a short little interview with him, and it was really cool. Yeah, it was neat to have him there. So that was kind of a nice little bonus.
That was a superstar moment there at Truckin For Kids, and you got to talk to him and then I talked to him as well, and just for me, you know, I'm a huge NHRA guy. I love drag racing, have forever. So to get to meet one of those guys, and
well, John, just so you know,
yes,
when I was a kid, I had my sister and I had bunk beds. I had NHRA sheets, and I had a subscription to Popular Hot Rodding. It was called, I think, back then. I think it's just Hot Rod now. And I used to cut all the pictures out. I had a whole wall. I was like a psychotic, you know, serial killer with the wall with the pictures. But they were, you know, Ed Pink engines, and they were Dom Perdome and Tom the Mongoose McEwen and Big Daddy Tom Garlitz. And, you know, honestly, there was a big amount of time in my life. That's what I wanted to do. So yeah, I'm not into it as much as I was in the past. NASCAR has kind of taken its place.
Yeah, you migrated a little bit to the round track.
A little bit, but I still, if I catch some NHRA, I'll watch it.
So Wayne Talkington got a little comment here. Let's see what that says. No bracket for super trucks. All the racers have asked me to oversee as race director. Okay.
Hey, we're open to anybody who wants to help us. We'd like to have like 2 kind of liaisons that could be can be our track, not just for advice, but possibly to help put these things together and be the person that stands between us and the track personnel. So we can talk. We'll talk about that, Wayne.
You know, I think the best way to look at it's like this, and I mean, you describe it perfectly. But 10-4 magazine makes magazines and tells stories. Truckin For Kids, you know, puts on truck shows and helps kids. Drag racing, yeah, not so much. That would be super to have the best of the best jump in and be a part of that to make this so much, you know, more to the point of man, when people show up, they go, "This was a real deal. This wasn't some little, you know, funky podunk deal. This was the real deal."
Yeah.
That's I think where we're headed, and with the great people like Wayne and others that have stepped up to already say, "Hey, I want to throw my name in there to get involved." Man, I think we're headed in good places.
Keep in touch with us, Wayne. Let's talk again. And I'd be totally open to getting some advice and some help. And whatever you can do for us, we will take it. And
Got
Sapone as well. John Sapone just chimed in here, and he had some comments that he
Yeah.
shared with us over Messenger, and we had
Yeah.
a good conversation back. He brought up some valid points to make it better, and he was the other one that I was thinking of. So if those two get along, those two could possibly be some really good helpers for us to get this thing really dialed in.
I think so.
Because we want the racing. I mean, this is Truckin for Kids, truck drags and show and shine. And we don't just want it to be a truck show. We want it to be truck drags. We want the truck drags to be the focus. We worked really hard to secure this deal with the track. So, you know, we might as well take advantage of it and make these drags really special. So that was my goal this year. It didn't quite hit the mark, but hey, like I said, room for improvement will grow. I think everybody still had a good time, but it could be better next time, and we want it to be.
You know, all in all, I still say overview of looking at everything that took place on Sunday. Might have been a few shoots and misses, but I think everything else was a hit. And I like I said, no complaints. I heard none from anybody, and I think everybody knew. Look, you know, give these guys a shot, and let's see what they can bring. And I think we did a pretty good job bringing what we had, what we knew, what we've been doing over the years. You guys have been at it a long, long time. They're right beside everybody in the Truckin for Kids organization. So pretty good idea how it's supposed to look and what it's supposed to feel like. And then incidentally, props to you guys on the new lineup on the show trucks. Everything looked great. Lots of room, lots of space to get around. You know, I love the midway for the vendors. I think that was a great environment. I just felt like a place where people wanted to hang out. There was stuff going on all day in the midway.
Yeah, and I will answer Trevor here. You asked about maybe truck and trailer drags. I will say probably a resounding no on that because it's really tight at the other end of the track, and it'd be hard to make a lot of trucks to make that turn. And most tracks don't want tractor trailers on their track, believe it or not. Some don't even want trucks, so that might be a big ask. But you know,
I think they're at, yeah, I didn't answer to that either, but Trevor, Dan's right. The end of the track, there's no turnaround down there. There's not enough room, but there's other places where those races are going on. So enjoy them where they are, and we'll focus on what we can do and make that the best that we could possibly bring to everybody. And hopefully we'll see if we can make it happen for 2 days next year at down there. That'll be awesome. Yeah, it was worth a shot, he says. Yeah, it was. No, never hurts to ask. Absolutely. Dan, how you doing on time? I need to cut you loose.
you could.
I can, hey, hang with me if you like. I'd like having
Okay.
you there, man. We can kind of talk off each other. I want to make sure everybody knows that you guys take the time. You go over to 10-4 Magazine, over to our Facebook page, and catch up with the different live streams that we've posted up there from Sunday. The interview with Cruz Pedregon and Dan it's up there, and it's in this video right here that you guys are looking at right now.
The
Take a
volume's
look.
a little sketchy on that one, though.
What's that?
The sound is a little sketchy during the interview.
It cut in and out because we were in the receiver of the wireless was inside the vehicle, and I think we were probably getting a little bit of interference. So we were hearing audio mostly coming from the camera itself. And I do have a resolve for that. I wasn't able to put it into play for this show, but we'll get it in on the next one.
Wow. Well, let me see that night shot again. Scroll down. Scroll down there. Look at that bad boy. Woo, beautiful.
That is a nice looking truck right there, you know.
Those little bobtails, they sure light them up. That was at Ventura. That was really cool. Anyway, I really like you guys.
I mean, listen, you know what? If you're going to drive a box truck, baby, make it look like that because that's badass. He did a great job on that truck. There's no doubt about that. So you got the video here, guys. Check it out. They're always in the feed after the show. And then once that's done, anything you're ever looking for, it's always at the top of the page. Come over here and check it out live. There's where all the live videos are if you want to find the events. long as I got us here, let's check them out.
Thank you,
You'll
Oscar. It was great having you. Congratulations on the win.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Oscar, awesome. Yeah, I didn't see he was in there. Nice. Uh, and the other videos that are on there too that I didn't scroll down to, I'll get to those in a minute too. But this weekend, you guys want to check out St. Ignace, and that's in Michigan, St. Ignace, Michigan, the 26th annual Richard Crane Memorial Show. Any other shows that are coming up that I've been able to find that people have made events for on Facebook, those are all in here. If they're not here, it's because they didn't make an event yet at the time I was looking. But these events are created by the people who are running the events. Check them out. The latest updated information is always there. And then, of course, always over onto our website. And you can check out 104magazine.com and go to the events. And it starts off right there, Mid-America Trucking Show, all the way down to the end as we scroll and scroll on and down to the very end. There's the Bobtail Apparel Show. We're going to be out at that one. And the last show of the year that we've got on our calendar, Monsters, Money Pits, and Motorcycles. That sounds like a lot. So you guys know what to do. I think as far as any takeaways from this year, I hope we definitely put a good feeling into the guys that maybe didn't show up and they heard from their friends how much fun they had, and that they'll be there with us next year. Our sponsors, awesome. Thank you guys for making it all possible inside the program. So next year, if you didn't make it in this year and you were not a sponsor, get a hold of us. It's never too early. I'm not going to start saying pre-registration again until sometime next year, so you won't hear those words out of my mouth for a while. And I think we fairly well wore them out, but there was a lot going on. So the program,
Matt, what a benefit that was. Those people that pre-registered, they nailed it. They drove up. The people held up their receipt. The people had a cell phone or a scanner. They scanned them, saw they were in, and they paid, and bang, you were done. You go get parked, and you're done. You put your window sticker in at parking. They gave you your bucket. They gave you your pack. You were done. You did not have to go to registration at all. And that was a big bonus from what I've heard, from some of
absolutely. I mean, that's streamlined, man. I mean, let's face it. I mean, I remember us trying to get in years past. There was a bottleneck getting in, so that was definitely relieved.
Yeah, we had a pretty crazy first half hour there Sunday morning from about 6 to 6:30. But once we got our feet down and everybody got their places set, it was smooth as a goose.
April Sieben says,
"Stop saying it, April. Stop."
April Sieben says, "Hey, listen, you know what?
It was the pre-reg, so
it was fun. Listen, the whole leading up to it and building up to it and getting it through to everybody and trying to get as much out of our contacts and marketing and our touch points out there that we have with all the different social media channels that we have. It was a lot of fun, and we had a lot of fun with it, and you guys made it fun. Thanks for showing up out there, because without you, no show. And super big thanks out to everybody that helped to make it happen. Like Dan said, I know Stephanie was out there taking pictures and making that happen. So 10-4 actually had a photographic record of Truckin For Kids 2022, right?
Yep, she'll be doing the show report. In fact,
There you go.
It wouldn't be appropriate for me to write my own show report, so I'm gonna let her do
it. Well, did you get to see any of it? So I don't know. You can, right?
That rule doesn't apply on this.
Okay. Thanks to Big Daddy. You guys all know Big Daddy out there spinning some tunes for us during the day on Sunday. I appreciated him doing that. There's probably a bunch more folks out there that we could say thanks to, and just know this: if you were there and you helped out, and we're not saying your name, it's not because we don't love you. It's just there's a lot of them that you try to remember, and you just get out as many as you can. On the drag racing side, man, I'll tell you the big impressions, of course. Mark Pounds, I swear the guy bought a new set of tires just to leave half of them on the track there in the burnout competition on Sunday, and he did, and he won. So, great job. John, I'm at home and Kelly is here listening to me. Listen, I'm not sure what. Okay. All right. Oh, hey, Trevor, what's up, buddy? Oh yeah. I remember there was some comment I was supposed to make about, you know what? ladies, you need to let your men listen to the Studio 10-4 weekly update because it is quality and family entertainment. So you know what? Come on along and join us. We don't have any
Hi, Kelly.
reserves.
Hi, Kelly.
Yeah. I think it was something like that. I can't remember, Trevor. That was Sunday and a lot of diesel and burn rubber ago. So, but yeah, no, Trevor, great to see you out there at the show, buddy. I still got one of those big Coors Light. Oh, boring. Yeah, she had the boring comment. A big 24-ounce Coors. I stopped on the way and couldn't find a place. I just randomly pulled off to get fuel somewhere down on the Grapevine, and I get in there, and they sell gas, which was good. I needed it, but beer, that was limited, man. It was Coors, Budweiser, and a couple other things, and that was about it. I'm like, and then what's the deal? Why does Southern California hate Pabst Blue Ribbon? There was none to be found, zero. Well, I did find a big tall boy somewhere, and that was it. But
Should have just came to us and got some good spotted cow from Wisconsin.
you know, I had one. I think I had one of those, and it was pretty good. So, all right, man. Well, we're about done. We've got one or two more shows for this month coming up. We're gonna get our cover trucker in, and he was there at the show. Also,
Maybe Trevor too. Huh,
maybe,
Trevor?
yeah, Trevor. What do you think? Yeah.
I mean, he's got a face for radio, but what are you gonna do?
Wait a minute. I didn't. Did you say that?
What? Who?
Sounds like heaven, he says. So that's good, man. Hope you guys appreciate everything we try to do for you, and I know you do. You say so in so many different ways. A lot of love from 10-4 magazine out to you folks, and I appreciate you always tuning in. Studio 10-4 live weekly update. Dan, of course, it's always great when the show is able to host you and have you on the show with us and be a part of it. So thanks for jumping in today and making it as fun as you did. So
thank you.
We will rendezvous in Davis here in about a month or so, and in October, and we'll be seeing you down there. You guys will be doing 10-4 stuff. I will too. I'm not sure how much what, we'll figure it out. But I'm supposed to judge trucks, so we'll see how that goes.
Gonna get judgy, huh?
I'm gonna get judgy, yeah. So,
get out your. Did you all hear that? Get your PBRs ready. Bribe the judge. He likes them in bottles.
Hey, bottles are like extra big points, man. Extra big points. Did I say Davis, Tim? Oh, sorry. Yeah, Dixon. Dixon and Davis are right like next door neighbors, but Dixon, I'm sure, doesn't like being called Davis. So Dixon it is. That's correct. Yeah, they're right there next door to each other. But the Dixon, the fairgrounds there in Dixon is where the show is going to be out. But yeah, it will be fun. It'll be a good show. A lot of entertainment. If you guys have never seen Fry Brothers, these guys are a local, legend of biker band music here in the area, and they're going to be playing all day on Saturday, is what I hear. So, hey, Chris, thanks, buddy. Yeah, I'll put that up there.
It was our pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I love seeing stuff like that, and I've seen some great comments on social media from the ATHS guys. So can't wait till next year, man. Reno, right? And what time of year Reno? Do you know, Dan? Do you recall when that's going to be?
June, early June.
Early June. Cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
And their man, our guy, Jerry Salinas there with that needle nose 2-axle Pete that was on our cover about 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
He cleaned house. I mean, we didn't have a lot of trophies, and he took home 3. Yeah. He got People's Choice Antique, Competitor's Choice Antique, and the Shriner's Choice picked him as well. So he took home more trophies than anybody.
And a new star was born, right? Cody Davis out of Wyoming with that kind of a lime green Kenworth W900 cattle pot. So
yep. He got Competitor's combo and People's Choice combo. Yep.
Yeah. Cool. So hey, you know what? Bring your A game, man, because you got your own people, voting on you, and as well the crowd. That tells a story right there. So can't wait to see more of him and what he's going to have to show us here. I imagine he's got the bug now, right?
There you go. We're at June 9th, ATHS in Reno.
June 9th, ATH. Oh, nice. Right on. Yeah, that's going to be fun. That was such a great show. What was it?
19.
Yeah, 19. I was going to say 3 years ago, right? 2020. Yeah, 4 years ago. Really? Yeah. Wow. All right, guys. Listen. Next week, I know I've got some stuff planned. We'll get that out to you as soon as possible. A lot of stuff going on here in my world. You know, we're trying to wrap this studio here up and get the new one secured up in Oregon, and that's going to be happening here within the next few weeks. Probably going to stick it out here for the first week or two of October, it looks like, and then we'll be out of here, and we'll be streaming to you from up there up in the Grants Pass area of Southern Oregon.
So, do you got any big plans for your backdrop? You going to give us a whole new decor back there?
Well, you know something, there's been folks wanting to send me stuff for that wall now, so it's kind of taken on its own personality.
Maybe
We'll
you
have,
could just green screen. You can do whatever you want back there.
yeah, I don't know.
You could be on a yacht one day.
I could be. I mean, you know,
You
I could still have that, and but then I could also drop the green screen on it and do that. But the back wall's kind of taken. You know, you got, you know, right, Babes and Big Rigs over here. They sent me their artwork, but I've got a real nice piece coming. I'll let you know what that is. I saw a picture of it today. It's handcrafted piece of artwork, man. So I'm pretty excited about seeing that. But no, I don't know. We'll figure that out. You know, the new digs. It's kind of ironic because I'm in a situation where I've got another similar environment to what I'm in right now at the new location. So that should be interesting. And the room is soundproofed, so that's even more interesting. I don't know what that was all about, but it is soundproof. Dennis Mitchell just chiming in from St. Charles, Minnesota. Dennis, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man. I don't know how that dude eats the meals. Do you see the size of the portions he gets when he posts dinner? It's
got
like
to put that weight back on. Hey, Dennis, you're looking good. You're looking
six-pack
good.
of eggs, you know, 2 steaks, like a big.
He's got to grow all that hair back, so it takes some extra protein.
I don't know, man. Oh, I don't know. Hope Grayson, the show again. She's become a regular here at the Studio 10-4 live weekly update too. Nice to have you, Hope. All right, Dan, let's say goodbye, and we'll see each other here soon. And y'all, we'll see you next week. Keep the shiny side up. JT saying so long for now. Take care and be safe out there, y'all.
Thanks, guys.